my name is Lam and welcome to this week's Mega Drone X update video. This week we'll be talking about ground stations and video transmitters and the requirements that we're going to have. Obviously video is a very important factor when putting on an FPV race, and we are lucky enough to be working with FPV racing events, and they have some really nice ground stations set up. So you're about to hear Scully talk about them. Joe Scully's been doing this for a while, real professional, and I think you'll really like what he has to say. And then after that, we'll talk about the video transmitters that you will need to have on your quad.
This is Joe Scully, race director with FPV Racing Events, and I want to take a brief moment to talk to you about the Landshark DPX2 ground station that we're bringing to Louisville, Kentucky for the Mega Drone X this April. It's a system we've taken all across North America to tremendous reviews by all of our pilots who've had the opportunity to be plugged into it. It provides a quasi-quad diversity reception of your quad, and it takes indoor video, makes it good or great, and traditional great outdoor video. This system makes it truly outstanding. It's a system that was introduced to us by the pioneer of the system, Brain Drain, at F3 Expo. He calls his system the Penetrator, and you can see here with the left and right comparison. On the left-hand side is a traditional receiver, on the right-hand side the super base station, and as Schizo pounds down the best freestyle of F3 Expo, you can see multipathing barely visible on the right-hand side, but without the system, lots of multipathing. Now, where the system really shined for us and where we saw its true potential is in the second venue, which we had indoor racing at, or individual racing at. This venue was deemed unflyable. Lots of reflective surfaces from the floor to the metal in the poles and on the ceiling. Also, all kinds of interference with the abundance of Wi-Fi all around, because it is a Congress Center. And with the base station that Brain Drain had, also Voodoo Quads had two of these systems that they had just built 2 weeks previous as well. We used those 3 systems, and we had 3 pilots flying simultaneously with pretty decent video, flyable video for sure, and the racing was outstanding over the course of the event. But this system from here, I mean, we could see that there's a gold mine here where there's going to be all kinds of these out of the paradigm venues, and a system like this is going to be almost a necessity to make it happen. Now from there, we went to our friends Ready Made RC. They packaged it all into one, all the different components into one system so that we could travel with it. And the Penetrator, our version, we call it the Landshark DP. And here we're going to see it here at XDC2 in Las Vegas. Another rough venue with a lot of Wi-Fi around it, causing interference because there's 2 tech companies, Zappos and Amazon. Also, a lot of reflective surfaces from the glass to the metal all around this rotunda. And we were able to get upwards of 6 in the air simultaneously at XDC2, courtesy of our Landshark DP ground stations. Then we took our system up to Canada. We added some True RC X2 Airs, and that's why we call them the Landshark DP X2s now. And at this venue, we tried to find the best antenna configuration, and we replicated across the board. And here, we were able to get 7 or 8 in the air simultaneously. 7 was really the magic number. This venue, without the base station, with goggles only, was extremely rough. If you have a course like we had set up, it would be unflyable. There's no way. You'd be crashing. You wouldn't be able to see, especially at the far end. But with the super base station, we were able to do some great racing. Then we took the base stations to our next venue here, and you can look in the ceiling here. There's steel trusses going widthways, steel supports going lengthways, and with goggles, it was really rough again inside of this venue. But we did a different approach, which is our new protocol. And we took our antenna and we came up with an individual antenna configuration on each individual station so that each station had its best possible video. And some of those, we had 3 X2 Airs, plus an Omni or a patch as the 4th antenna. Sometimes those Omnis or patches would be upside down, and just whatever configuration worked the best. And a few of those stations had 4 of the True RC X2 Airs on them, and we were able to get 8 flying simultaneously with great indoor video, especially for the venue with you have all this RF from a venue that was, again, almost unflyable to great video and great racing, 8 flying simultaneously. So this system we're bringing to the Mega Drone X, and if you want to find out a little bit more about it, maybe you want to build your own or see these videos, you go to fpvracingevents.com or Google Landshark DP, and you can see all these videos. Also the links to Ready-Made RC, where you can get all the individual components and build your own ground station, super base station, or Landshark DP. And again, fpvracingevents.com, our website, and again, Ready-Made RC, where you can get all of the components. And if you want to try it before you buy it or build it, we are proud to bring these to the Mega Drone X in April, Louisville, Kentucky, the world's first subterranean FPV race.
Hello, this is YLAM again, and I'm going to be covering VTX requirements, or video transmitter requirements. That's the VTX that's going to be going on your quad. So the first thing I'd like to cover is that it should be 200 milliwatts or lower. If you have a Vortex, which currently the standard is 350 milliwatts, we will try to accommodate that, but we make no promises on that. If you're going to come with any other ready-to-fly unit, please let me know if it's going to be transmitting at higher than 200 milliwatts. Again, we will try to accommodate that, but we make no promises. Definitely check if there is a way to lower that setting. I know on the Vortex, I covered with somebody in which they said that they can reduce it down to 100 milliwatts. So that's a fallback that we can go to if they come here and they realize that they can't fly at 350. The next thing that we would like to cover is it's highly recommended that your video transmitters come with LEDs that will show the band and the channel, and a push button that will allow them to change the channel or the band. We will be using race band. That's the band we'll be using. All of the video transmitters that we are recommending will support race band. It's very common amongst most new transmitters to support that type of band. It uses the full 5/8 spectrum, so it allows us to get all 8 pilots in the air much easier, and hopefully for them to get better video. The reason why we go with the LEDs and the push button style is because it's very easy for us to change channels during the event. As we get into the later rounds, you will have to change channels depending on what bracket that you go into, because people will be eliminated from the race to get down to the top 3. This right here is the cable that we're going to be supporting. This cable right here is used in a number of brands, and all of them supports the LED system and the push button system. This is the reason why we like this type of cable. This cable has a locking connector that goes to your VTX. The Ready-Made RC Cricket uses this cable. The Lumineer version of these VTXs uses this cable, and these are the generic FX versions that you're seeing right here. So you can go with a generic brand or you can go with a name brand. They're easily purchasable. They're distributors in the United States, so that's why we like these brands. They have the features that we want. We highly recommend not going with the dip switches. You're going to be flying in a cave. There's going to be quite a bit of many of dark spots around the cave, so having to fool around with dip switches is not recommended. We will send you one of these cables so that if you want to keep flying with the VTX that you have, you can, and then maybe a few days beforehand, before you come down, you go ahead and use this cable. You can either purchase these VTXs ahead of time, or you can purchase them during the event. I will say that you will save money if you purchase these VTXs online and ahead of time. I would definitely recommend that you pick up more than one, because it's pretty easy to damage a VTX and then you always want it back up. But if you want to purchase them during the event, they'll definitely be available with this type of locking connector. We will also have additional locking connectors at the event as well, if you were to need one if for instance you actually break this cable. Now if you're racing as a team and you've been using a specific type of VTX, or your sponsor requires you to use a certain type of VTX, we will definitely accommodate that. Definitely reach out to me and let me know. As long as you know how to use your own equipment, there shouldn't be any issues. We will be doing an inspection on signal strength. That will be during the tech inspection, so that we know that your transmitter is only using it at 200 milliwatts or lower. The last few things that I want to talk about before we wrap up is definitely when you place your video transmitter, place it in a place where it's protected. That's pretty obvious, but you also want to place it in an area where you can easily see the LEDs, and also get to the push button so that you can change your channels. That's something that's going to be important, and you don't really want to be fidgeting with your quad when it's your time to fly. We'll have a list of all the recommended transmitters on our website. Definitely check it out if you need to purchase one. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to me and I'll help you out the best I can.